Hello everyone, this is probably not coming to you for the first time ever, so please excuse my very weak and underdeveloped voice. If you know me at all, then you probably know me as the original host and creator of the Pixel Game Maker Awards. Well, if you don't know, what we are is very simple. We're a 6-year-old cult and amalgamation of pixel enthusiasts bent on brainwashing everyone by means of the front page of Scratch with our content. Link is in the description. In all seriousness though, I'm here because for the first time in forever, I want to give you guys my raw, unfiltered opinion on the previously submitted games for the 7th season of the Pixel Game Maker Awards for round 1. Now, normally I would let contestants know what I thought about their game through like 5 paragraphs worth of comments, which I guess they seem to appreciate, but Scratch did not, because I'd be cut off at the character limit well before I was like halfway finished. So we're gonna go ahead and see how this goes in video format. Caveat, I will not be recording all of the round 1 games because there's 20 of them. And that's way too much editing for one video, but if this goes well, I'll most likely just make another video for round 2 and review their games that I didn't get to review this round.
Quiet, please. No need to shout. No need to yell.
So I started with King Jaw 2's A Silent Location, which quickly turned out to be actually one of the best examples of a perfectly executed round 1 game for PGMA. Now, first of all, the name, absolutely hilarious, very funny. I love it when people do this and make a clever little parody of something inside of the game. But if I'm being honest, I actually don't know exactly what it's parodying, so if somebody can just comment that down below. I honestly have no idea. It threw me for a loop. Anyways, it took me just a little bit too long to realize what was about to happen because I didn't notice what with the silence theme and all would result in many of these games being scary. Needless to say, it clicked with me at some point, and it took plenty of trial and error to survive day 1 of A Quiet Place. A noiseless locale. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, I think most aspects of this were done pretty well. The art is kind of in between. It's not too simple, it's not too intricate. I think it's just enough to give the game its own unique style. This game does give me like obstacle course vibes, so the inclusion of the little pulleys and the timed moving platforms and all of that kind of stuff makes perfect sense. Although I do wish in hindsight that there was a little bit more variation as far as the type of obstacles that there are. But again, this is just a round 1 game, and I think that just enough was done as it needed to be. So good on you, King Jaw 2. Let's hope you pass.
God damn it. I've got a dream, a mission, a reason to live!
Not anymore!
So next up was, and I was just picking these at random, Mission Shard by Rhinomazing 22773. First things first, I was greeted by my browser asking if it could use my microphone, to which I initially responded, no, like it's my microphone, I'll use it when I want it. But then I remembered, oh yeah, the theme is silence, so it probably wants me to use it for some kind of like practical reason within the game. I was taken through a few pages worth of story exposition, which I honestly didn't pay much attention to. I feel like it's been sufficiently mentioned that long story exposition like this beforehand kind of drags down the initial introduction of the game as judges, especially when you can't like fast forward or skip it, and it makes a jarring popping sound that leaves a ringing in your ears because you had your headphones on. Okay, but now it's not like a huge deal or anything, just something to keep in mind for future entries. Although I will say I did like that kind of like cinematic opening credits intro to the game. That was a nice inclusion, good on that. Anyway, we cut to what I assume is a cold and sterile spaceship room, and this is the part where I went completely brain dead because I didn't realize until way too late that it was picking up on my voice through the mic, and I got jump scared again. Oh, it's Now, although I'm retarded, I do feel like there are not many stakes here, since it seems like easy enough to just not talk while you're playing the game, unless you like lived on a busy highway or something, trucks racing by, or maybe like with a large family where everyone's always arguing.
You want me to intervene? Okay, I'm
That would be legitimately hilarious, and the fact that that's a possibility to me is very funny for some reason. But in conclusion, I do like the general presentation of the game. The gameplay itself, it does lack complexity. I felt like I was roaming through just a bunch of rooms that looked more or less the same until I got to where I assumed the exit was because it said that I won. As well as the art, but I think it's a solid, well put together entry for round 1. And if Rhino Amazing passes, then I would love to see more.
My French is pretty good.
So you would recommend getting the flanc-tampon grand d'un petit plan persévère?
Alright, so I was pretty eager to see this one, since everyone was telling me to watch till the end, and the whole French thing had me curious as well. The intro scene actually did not disappoint. I didn't really get it like in the moment, but when I rewatched it, it was actually pretty hilarious. For those of you who don't know, the song, by the way, that French Mario, or ccallahantow himself, sings, is a French version of the Pixel Knights song, which is a theme for Season 4 of PGMA when we had a special Teams edition, so that's what that was. But yeah, the game itself is solid. The gameplay, I assume, is inspired by Sokoban, and the puzzles are pretty cool to figure out. The musician guy was a nice creative addition to the mechanics of each puzzle, and the concept more or less fits the theme, like in an opposite kind of way, because the only one who wants and or needs quiet is the mouse, but he doesn't seem to be getting his way now, does he? I do like the graphics. The monochrome really adds to like the old-timey French atmosphere that I assumed he was going for. I will say though that due to the colors, the contrast is a bit high and it gets kind of hard to look at after a while, especially in full screen. Like the intro and the ending scenes look great, but in the game everything seems like a little bit off during the actual gameplay. But maybe that's just me nitpicking, I don't know. Also, if you wait till the end, you get to hear the original Pixel Knights theme song in English.
Take me out to the Pixel Game Maker Awards.
That's pretty cool. The song is pretty nostalgic, at least for me. I don't know how well it holds up though. I feel like the song needs a little bit of work. Here, let me fix it.
Take me out to the Pixel Game Maker Awards. Do not forfeit or the judges will pout. I don't care if I get voted out for it. Root for the pit.
The SoundCloud link for that is in the description, by the way. No, just kidding. There's no SoundCloud. Anyway, I don't think this is ccallahantows' best work, but it's definitely complete and well styled. So yeah, still pretty good.
Guess it's time you and me had a man-to-man talk about the birds and the bees, you know?
I was actually pretty stoked to know that Tiger Stripes wanted to join in the first place, because I saw some of their previous projects and I really like the art style that they have. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's simplistic but slightly abstract in the way that it's done. Very simple shapes and textures, but when there are many elements on the screen, it looks great. I noticed that most of her projects use a technique with relatively light colors, but also slightly desaturated, and it creates this really unique aura about it, and I love it. Since I wasn't paying full attention to the storyline, I went back to play it again, and it's actually another pretty fun one. So to make a long story short, you're working at a place where you can't make any noise, and there are guards for the employees to enforce this policy who like must not have eyes or something because I can just crawl right past them. But I guess my soul has been so badly drained by my job that a bird is enough to get me to just run out and chase after it. Oh yeah, there's this frog that's like also scared to get caught by the guards, but like, why? He's a frog. He doesn't work there. What are they gonna do to him? Kill him? This is what I'm talking about. The plots you guys come up with are hilarious. This is what PGMA is all about, baby. Another thing, I like Mozart or Tchaikovsky or whoever it is that wrote the piece, but the piano music does start to get like a little bit repetitive after a while. It's kind of hard to explain what makes background music work in a game, because like it's simple, but I don't think it's ambient enough to blend in with the game, you know? But again, that's just me reading too far into it. Probably it's just one element. Overall, I really enjoyed this one. I think the funny backstory, character interactions, and pleasant outdoor settings sort of elevate the otherwise sort of monotonous gameplay, but like just for round 1, I think you should be proud of yourself for this one, Tiger Stripe 64, and I really do hope to see more from you. Alright, that's pretty much all I got in me for this one, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that. I won't lie when I say I was nervous about making this because I have no idea how it'll be received. I just knew that everybody had a broad idea of wanting to see me review PGMA games. I'm sorry it was only 4 entries. Like I said, it just takes a lot of time to edit. Which, you know, it may reduce over time. Once I get a groove and structure of how I want to do these types of things, it'll probably go faster. And I know my editing choices are weird for this type of thing. You don't need to tell me. I'm just doing what I know. But seriously, tell me if you guys liked it, if you didn't like it, if it's a bad idea, or if you think something should be different. And if you did like it, it would be awesome if you subscribed to help get this thing off the ground. I want to make this a normal thing and carve out more time to create a new way to engage the PGMA community and kind of grow it overall, perhaps outside of Scratch one of these days. And not to like divulge unnecessary information or anything, but I did spend a bit of money to get this off the ground. You know, you got your recording mic. I got a couple of editing software subscriptions. A third thing that probably exists. So please feel bad for me. I want you to feel bad for me. No, don't actually take that seriously, but do subscribe. All right, get out of my face. Bye.
I guess you probably want the English version.
No, I've already heard it.